395 or visit the Division of Health, Wellness and Family Development at dhwft.gov.tt. Tobago's vaccination drive-through is on this week at Shaw Park Complex. Don't miss your chance to get the shot.
Hello world. Hello world. This is www.i955fm.com, Trinidad.
This Sunday on episode 31 of Eye on Dependency.
Last week, you heard the story of Maria, a young Venezuelan national who was smuggled to Trinidad for the purpose of trafficking. This Sunday on Eye on Dependency, you will hear from Alana Wheeler, director of the Counter Trafficking Unit, who will talk more about the Awareness to Action campaign. She will also announce the winners of the spoken word competition for trainees of the Civilian Conservation Corps. Garth and Natasha also welcome Major David Benjamin, Director of the Specialized Youth Service Programs, to start the show with greetings on behalf of the CCC. You don't want to miss Eye on Dependency this Sunday from 6:15 p.m. Listen live on I95.5 FM and watch live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. And remember, real men don't buy women and girls. Eye on Dependency. We don't just share stories. We change lives.
This is Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha. Sundays at 6:15 p.m. on the most influential name in radio, I95.5 FM.
Good evening and welcome to Eye on Dependency. Thank you for joining us if you're listening on I95.5 FM, on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. Good evening, guys.
Good evening, Natasha, and good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to Eye on Dependency once again, and happy emancipation to all of you out there. And this is a very timely program this evening. I'll tell you why as we go forward, but it's a very, very important program here with regard to emancipation, because we have some young people that will be entertaining this evening, and to encourage them to be emancipated in a lot of ways. And it's a real pleasure to join you here this evening. As Natasha said, we are live on I95.5, live on the Independency Facebook page and YouTube channel. And we have lots in store for you this evening, folks.
Indeed, we do. But before we get into the meat of the matter, allow us to share with you the message from the Executive Director of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, who is speaking on a topic that we are about to engage in this evening as well. The World Day Against Trafficking in Persons was on the 30th of July, and so we would like to share the message from the Executive Director on the World Day.
Yes, so here's that message.
I think I may have to take responsibility for that one. We will perhaps get time before the show is over to share the executive director's message.
Today we're going to be hooking up with let's tell you how the program's going to go. So we, as you know, there was a week of activities with regard to the call to action from the theme that the Counter Trafficking used.
Yes, from
week.
awareness
From
to
awareness
action.
to action.
That was the theme, yeah.
Right. And Ms. Alana Wheeler was very busy with the Counter Trafficking Unit and doing a lot of work, a lot of workshops, a lot of online workshops and symposiums, and you name it. She was very busy. You saw her on television, she was on radio. She did a lot of work this week. And a part of that campaign, there was a spoken word competition that the trainees of the Civilian Conservation Corps took part in. And this evening, it's the results of that competition. We're going to share the results of first, second, and third place winners of that spoken word competition. And we will, of course, hook up with the program, the director of the Specialized Youth Service Program, Major David Benjamin, who will bring greetings. We will hook, he's online already with us. And after which, we will speak with, as last week we promised, to hook up with some of the trainees that we did not manage to hook up with. So, John L. Duke, stand by for your call from North Central Region. Patrice from Northwest. Lyndon Jack, Northeast. Akeem Regis from Southwest. Kenisha Taylor from Southeast. And Janora Langton, South Central. We give you all 2 minutes just to speak with us and tell us, what you thought about the campaign. You saw the movie Traffic, then you saw the documentary Maria. You must have some thoughts to share, and if you learned anything about human trafficking. Then we go to a break and we come back with the lady of the moment, the director of the Counter Trafficking Unit, Ms. Alana Wheeler, who will be with us for a while because Ms. Wheeler will be revealing the results with you this evening. Also, we have a video call with a special guest artist this evening as well, a young lady from the St. James Police Youth Club who will be doing a piece for you just before the results are read. So we're going to keep you in some tension, but trust me, we're going to not only have fun this evening, but we're going to learn again, because that's the object of the exercise on Dependency. For every time we are done, that you are fed with some knowledge. All right, so without further ado, let's go to our first guest, who is live on Facebook with us right now, Major David Benjamin. Good evening, sir.
Greetings. Thank you, Garth and Natasha, for having me on the program.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much for...
Good evening,
Happy
sir.
Emancipation.
Same to you.
Same to you, sir. Same to you. And hope all is well. So, Major, the floor is yours. You can, send your greetings and tell us how you feel about what one of your units was a part of this week.
So first and foremost, happy emancipation to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago on the celebration of today's Emancipation Day. On behalf of the Civilian Conservation Corps and by extension, the Specialized Youth Service Programs of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, which is now managed by the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. It is indeed a pleasure to be part of the show today, this afternoon, and to bring greetings on behalf of the Specialized Youth Service Programs, and in particular, the Civilian Conservation Corps and our trainees who will be participating in this afternoon's proceedings. It is also a very important topic in terms of trafficking, and I'll explain why this is so important to us in the CCC. The staff, students of CCC welcome the invitation to be part of this competition, where they have been afforded the opportunity to showcase their skills, their knowledge, and also to learn through research and preparation for this evil that is called trafficking in all its forms. The invitation fits quite seamlessly in our civic mindedness curriculum, where we teach the over 1,050 trainees of the program on the perils of trafficking. This is an important feature in our program, educating our youth to the dangers of trafficking can save their lives. We also appreciate the the invitation in terms of this venture and also the expression of the talent through the competition. So special thanks goes out to you, the Iron Dependency Program. Special thanks goes out to the I-95.5 for featuring this aspect of society. Also, special thanks to Ms. Alana Wheeler and the members of the Counter Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security for staging this forum for expression. We look forward to the presentations today with great anticipation because we are sure that you will be entertained and educated through the eyes of our participants. Once again, may the best peace win. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Before you go, though, I have a question. So, before you go, what's next? What's next for? We just can't let it run off like that. So, what's next for the Civilian Conservation Corps trainees?
So, the CCC program is now entering into the final phase of the program. That phase is called the skills training phase, and it is the phase that those trainees have prepared for, and they've worked steadfastly towards getting them up to the stage, clearing their life skills training, and now going into the skills phase. They would have chosen over 20 skills that they could engage in. On the 16th of August, they will start those skills, and that will take them through to the end of November. At the end of that process, we anticipate that they'll all be successful, and they will all be able to graduate from our program with a level 1 certificate in their chosen skill. That is really the rounding and the final aspect of the program, which brings them to the graduation ceremony, which we expect will happen in early December of this year.
Right, and early December. So, and then we're looking at another cycle to start right after, or?
Certainly, we're looking at January 2022 for the new cycle to start. COVID has, really served us a curveball. We've had to be really strategic to be able to engage the participants in the program in a dynamic way, and they've really responded tremendously. So hats off to those 1,050 trainees. They engage in online education, right? Something that most naysayers said could not have been accomplished with our students. But they were really diligent. They logged in on the platform. They went through the life skills training, applying themselves. Part of the skills training will be done online as well, in terms of the theoretical aspects. But when we come to the practical aspects, we will of course be engaging in laboratory type settings, going in there, ascribing to all of the protocols from the COVID guidelines, wearing of the mask, the physical distancing, and the sanitizing. And we are assured that given the approaches that we have taken and the steps that we've done to mitigate risk of infection, that we will be successful moving forward.
And Major, we want to wish you all the best. And as you said, when it's being led by a major, let's start with that. And once I know I could attest to that once it's being led by a major and you have members of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, retired members working with you, I know that if it's one thing, discipline will be the forefront of everything that you all do, and those trainees will be better off for it. And we want to thank you and your staff very much for your continued hard work.
Indeed.
Thank you very much. Before I go, just putting a plug for the MyLAT program, and they are preparing for their graduation ceremony on the 15th, Sunday the 15th of August, right? They will graduate from a very trying 2-year program, and we are actually engaging right now in preparing for the next intake of the MyLAT program. So we are under the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. We are moving forward, and we're hoping to engage as many young people who need the support that is afforded through our youth programs. Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank
sir.
you again, sir.
And God bless. You take care and be safe.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
All right. And I know you'll be looking on for the rest of the evening, so thank you for staying with us as well. So, folks, there you have it. That was Major David Benjamin. Very dedicated, very hard-working soldier, and we thank him for his service once again. So on the line we have Miss Wheeler is with us. I'm seeing Miss Wheeler there,
Yes,
sitting all quiet
patiently.
and patiently. Hi, Miss Wheeler. Wave to you. Good evening to you. So we have young Donnell on the line, and I'm sorry, Jonelle. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Mr. Duke, good evening to you.
Good evening,
Oh, is
Mr.
that
Sinclair.
Lord? Can you pronounce your name for me, my dear?
Jonelle.
My apologies, right? Sorry.
It's okay.
So, Jonelle, so you've been part of this process. So you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a long time in radio. Tell us how you feel about what you were part of with traffic and, of course, Maria. And have you learned anything about human trafficking?
Yes, well, let me introduce myself. So, hi, good evening to everyone on Facebook, on YouTube, and on I-95.5 FM. I am Jonelle Duke from the Civilian Conservation Corps North Central Region. Big up to Team 3. So, last time when, I tuned in, everyone gave good points, valid points. But first of all, being honest, I have never heard a survivor story. So it was truly a privilege when I saw the interview on Ion Dependency on Facebook. And the first thing came to my mind was the movie Taken. You know how the young lady was in the same situation, how she approached it, and this young lady, Maria, as she was interviewed. So I have some points here just to bring across of what I may have learned or understand or, saw in the interview. So first, never go somewhere where you're unsure about without telling anyone, especially if you can't tell your parents. That should make you think about the moves you want to make. Secondly, don't trust people too quickly. And I remember somebody was saying that, and I was like, it's serious. And sadly, it could be your own family members as well, because not everybody wants the best for you. Not everyone takes into consideration the casualty or the consequences of their actions. So make sure and ask as much questions as you can and share the information with someone else. Like sometimes we tend to neglect the older folks when they're telling us, don't do this, don't do that. We always say, oh gosh, shame of business. She don't want to do this, she don't want to do that. But they have been here long before each and every one of us as young people. And they know the tricks and they know the schemes of these certain individuals. And they also have a level of discernment. Yeah, when they could say, nah, I'm feeling something in my spirit, stay home today, or don't do this, or don't do that. And this could go as broad as it can to any situation. Yeah? Next point. Not every opportunity is a good opportunity. And now that we are being informed about the Counter Trafficking Unit giving us information on how we should approach certain things, what to do, what not to do, what to look out for, that we should also share the information as it is being shared to us, because Maria could have been ourselves as young women or ladies or even males in particular. It could have been our mother, our daughter, our sister, our aunt, our best friend in this case. And my last point is one of the best points, and it was Maria's acknowledgement of God in her situation. It really lit me up, honestly, because for me, it's not something you would hear people intentionally acknowledge through their situation. Sometimes after the situation is resolved, they'll say, oh, thank God. But no, she acknowledge God in the situation. So I just want to thank God for Maria's life and her willingness to share her story to impact our minds and our lives. So that is what I have to share.
All right. Well said. Well said. Thank you so much for keeping it tight, Janelle, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors at the Civilian Conservation Corps and beyond. All right?
Thank you, and same to you.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. Right. So that was Janelle Duke from representing North Central Region. Patrice John, Richard, I got on to you. No answer. Lyndon Jack, same thing. So we go to Akeem Regis. And folks, again, we will be joining Miss Alana Wheeler right after this so that she can take us through the paces here this evening. She will tell us about the week that was and, of course, reveal the results of the winners of the spoken word competition. You have nice prizes and so on.
Yeah, some devices, some nice devices.
Yeah,
I don't know how. Well, when we get there, we'll come to that when we get there. But some very nice devices as prizes for the outstanding efforts from these CCC trainees. I want to just acknowledge everybody who entered. The eventual winners were outstanding. I'm sure all of the pieces were outstanding. We do have one as well who is coming for special mention, so we'll play that when we get to it.
So we have Akeem Regis now. As I said, folks, we promised last Sunday that we'd give you all a chance to contribute because we didn't get around to it. So Akeem, your 2 minutes is up. Good evening to you.
Good evening, everyone. As you just said, my name is Akim Regis. I'm from the Civilian Conservation Corps, the Southwest region, and I just want to say, wow, this on Dependency, it was a privilege to, just sit and watch the interview concerning with the human trafficking and what so forth. And as the speaker before me said, it was my first time actually, experiencing human trafficking and the what's not and etc. And I just want to go and thank each and everyone and don't take life seriously. Sorry, don't take life for granted. Sorry. And that's what I just want to go and thank you, and I'll be continue to watching and enjoy.
Hello? You done?
Hello?
Akeem?
Yeah.
Right, so you're enjoying your time at the CCC?
Yes, I am, yes.
Right, and we wish you all the best. That's it for your contribution, right?
Yes, that's it for my
Short and
contribution.
sweet. All right, Akeem.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, that was Akeem Regis representing Southwest Region. So Kenisha Taylor is up next. And folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency. And we have some fantastic, let me tell you, I was really impressed with these performances, at least the winners. I didn't get to see all of them, but they were really, congratulations to all of you. And let me just say this in advance. It's a competition as the Olympics going on right now. And in competition, there must be winners, there must be losers. Remember that. But we wouldn't want to see any negative comments. We wouldn't want to see any, winners supposed to win gracefully, losers supposed to do the same thing. When you win, you congratulate the competitors and say, look, better luck next time, good job, well done. And when you lose, you congratulate the winner. And you say, hey, that is all part of competition. You win some, you lose some. And so let's have it like that this evening. And we welcome all the entrants here with the spoken word competition. We have to congratulate everyone who was involved. So Kenisha, are you there?
When you win, you congratulate.
Hello, Kenisha. Taylor, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Kenisha?
Go ahead.
Yes, Kenisha. So tell us, you represent Southeast Region and you have something to say about what your experience with Maria.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Kenisha Taylor representing the Southeast Region Team 3. And based on these two shows I get to watch, it was good because I got to learn a lot. And not just a lot, because there's situation that we deal with on a daily.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Yes.
Yeah. It's a situation that they get to deal with on a daily basis.
Right.
And getting the experience to see that ways where you could prevent stuff, because it has certain things that they did that could have been prevented. And one thing I learned from the show that I saw, it was, for instance, carry and don't bring it back, because the one that was persistent in traffic that they shouldn't do it, she ended up dying at the end. And then I was grateful to the end that Anne Maria now, she would have been able to get away and have a second chance at life.
Oh, sounds like we got cut off there. Sorry about that. I can try you back.
Yeah, we lost Kenya.
lost
We
her
don't know what
there.
happened. The call just dropped there. Unfortunately. Sorry about that, Kanisha, but she was just giving her take on. And if you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and you can also join us on the live on the Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel, because we're going to show you some of the entrance, some of the performances from this football competition. Yeah, we lost Kenya.
And it was all in an effort to spread the awareness among this group of young people especially, and we're glad that they so eagerly took the opportunity and came up with your own interpretation of the three themes that you got to digest. And some very interesting submissions, I must say, based on the winners. As there was a lot of creativity, a lot of thought went into the submissions, and we're very grateful for your participation. And we hope to bring awareness too to the national public about the awesome talent that resides at the CCC, right?
Yes.
There are a lot of young people doing a lot of great things in there. And we want everyone to know about the CCC.
Kenisha's back. Right, Kenisha, we lost you there.
Yeah, I had a little phone problem.
Right.
Yeah, as I was saying, how Maria had a second chance at life. Sometimes a lot doesn't get that opportunity. And I learned a lot from the two shows. So as being not just a young person, a young female, how to do things different, like to share locations, to always ask questions. A lot of my fellow trainees said a lot that I wanted to say. So seeing that I had phone problems, I'll keep it short and sweet. And representing Southeast region, I'd like to say thank you for having me here to learn a lot, and yeah, it was a good experience. Thank you.
All right, Kenisha. And
Thank you very much.
You keep going strong. Keep reaching for the stars. Keep your head on, all right?
Thank you for the encouragement.
Take care. Okay. Right, so final call to Janora Langton at South Central Region now. And after that, we take a break and we hook up with Miss Alana Wheeler. Now, remember, folks, those of you joining us, remember everything, even during our breaks, there's a lesson to be learned. So it's not a program that you want to even blink. You need to stay focused, because this is part of your. You see, once we educate you at this age, then you will tell someone, and someone will tell someone. And this is the objective of the Counter Trafficking Unit with regard to education. We need to educate you on this ill that is human trafficking. Right? So please pay close attention and learn something this evening.
And when we come back from the break, we will share with you that video from the Executive Director of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, and she will talk about their theme for the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, which is Victims' Voices Lead the Way. And it was very prophetic that we came with the documentary Maria this year when the UNODC chose that as their theme, because Maria is a survivor of human trafficking.
Yes. So we're going to kick that quick break. Couldn't get on to Janora. So we're not sticking around. Let's go. The more time we have, is the more time we have to educate you. So let's go to that quick break, and we will be back.
Coming soon to TV6, the Eye on Dependency TV series, Eye on Health. Starting on August 1st, you will learn about NCDs from survivors and experts. Eye on Health, Sundays at 8:30 p.m. and only on TV6.
Cappy, talk to you now, boy. Got a small work for you to do. You make a quick 10 G's. What you going to do for me?
10 G's? What is that how I do there, boy?
What you doing? Taking your boat, going up the islands, pick up some people and then bring them back here for me. That's all you have to do.
That's something like human trafficking, boy. That's a serious crime. I can't make that.
Trafficking in human beings is a serious violation of a person's human rights. It violates a person's right to freedom of movement, freedom of choice, freedom of speech, and freedom of identity. It is a heinous crime which affects local, regional, and international peace and security. A victim of human trafficking is subjected to many types of abuse. The crime destroys a person's dignity and self-worth. Victims often feel hopeless, are suicidal, and are stigmatized in their communities. Child victims are deprived of their rights to education, play, and social interactions. They are essentially robbed of their childhood, and that can never be regained once those years have passed. If we do little or nothing to fight against human trafficking in our country, we can face economic sanctions from international agencies and partners. Our country will be losing money. Doing little or nothing to fight against human trafficking will tarnish our country's international image and, most of all, the value we place on human life. Human trafficking is no respecter of persons. Anyone can be a victim. So let us all strive to safeguard human life and dignity in Trinidad and Tobago.
We are the Counter Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security, Trinidad and Tobago, safeguarding human life.
I'm Mava, and you listen to Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha on I-95.5 FM, Trinidad and Tobago. Don't be a fool and be a mule.
Of trafficking in persons has a story we should listen to. Victims' voices are key to preventing trafficking, supporting survivors, and bringing perpetrators to justice. Traffickers choose their victims from among the vulnerable, exploiting desperation and lack of awareness. The majority of those targeted are people in economic need who are misled. Almost 2/3 of detected victims are women and girls, and the share of children has tripled in the last 15 years. But despite the real and perceived vulnerabilities, survivors of trafficking are examples of strength, courage, and resilience. On this year's World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, I salute victims as they rebuild their own lives and help protect those of others. The UN Office on Drugs and Crime has launched a campaign titled Victims' Voices Lead the Way, to put a spotlight on victims' untold stories and on their roles in the fight against trafficking. Member states must engage, listen, and learn from survivors and support victim-led organizations. The COVID-19 pandemic has deepened vulnerabilities to trafficking, making victims' contributions more critical than ever. At UNODC, we continue to assist countries and all stakeholders in implementing the Trafficking in Persons Protocol and in developing victim-centered approaches. Through the UN Voluntary Trust Fund for Victims of Trafficking in Persons, we also provide essential support to victims and help empower them as part of the response. I thank our partners who have contributed to the fund and call on all member states to support it. I also call on you to join our campaign and to share and amplify victim stories. Inspired and guided by the resilience of those who survive, we can build the resilience of our societies to trafficking in persons, help prevent and alleviate suffering and impunity, and achieve justice.
So that was Gada Wali. She's the Executive Director of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, and that was her message to mark the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. So our local Director of the Counter Trafficking Unit, Ms. Alana Wheeler, is joining us now this evening. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Wheeler.
Hi, good evening, God and Natasha, and good evening to Major Benjamin and to the Civilian Conservation Corps team leaders and members. And thank you for having us on the program again.
Ms. Wheeler, thank you very much for making this possible. And we welcome you once again. Well, you had a week. I know you had a real busy week, so you wanna share that with us. How did the week go? The week of activities go?
Yeah, so we did have a very busy week, and this week didn't happen without the involvement and the very valuable and tireless input of a team of persons. And I just need to make mention of them and to publicly thank them for really taking the time to plan and prepare this week and to coordinate and organize much of the activities. Mrs. Rabia Khan, she is from the Interclub of Trinidad and Tobago. The Interclub is one of the largest women's organizations. It comprises 19 women's organizations in Trinidad and Tobago, and Mrs. Khan is the president. She is also a member of the working group of the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons, and she has been the one leading the prevention team. The prevention team is a team that deals with the awareness raising and the educational programs for trafficking in persons. Mrs. Khan was also assisted by Mrs. Charlene Karut-Lashley from the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, and also Mrs. Julia Ramirez Modest from the Ministry of Education. So those three persons met over the past couple months. They've been working probably for about a year now on the prevention and the National Plan of Action Against Trafficking in Persons, the prevention section of the plan. And really, this week is part of some of the work that they have been doing. So we launched Maria last Sunday, and we would have posted Maria on social media. She's on the YouTube, Ion Dependency YouTube, and she's also on our Counter Trafficking Unit Facebook page, so persons can listen to her testimony. We also had the Franciscan Institute on Monday, where they did a session on online grooming and sexual exploitation. That had over 300 persons registered for the session. And in addition to that, so far we would have had a few thousand viewers on social media. Dr. Karen Moore is a clinical psychologist, and she is somebody in very high demand, and we were happy to be able to get her for that session. We had persons from Ministry of Education, we had international organizations, children's homes, staff members, and the children who live in the children's homes, they were part of it. Persons from the shelters, shelter staff were also there. And we had churches and faith-based organizations, ministers of the gospel were there, full gospel churches were there also. And so we had a really good wide cross-section. We also had some victims that were part of the session, and also some students and parents. So it was a very eye-opening session. And in fact, Dr. Moore's an article came out in today's Guardian on that session. So persons can look at today's Guardian and check out some of the points that were raised, or they can watch the session again on Counter Trafficking Unit Facebook page or on the Franciscan Institute Facebook page. So if they want to see more highlights, they won't have time to go in too much into it. But one of the things that came out from that session was parents were very alarmed at the online usage of young persons and how vulnerable it is for persons to be online without being properly monitored and without really having a full understanding of what they are exposing themselves to. So she would have raised several issues about grooming and how persons are groomed, and how perpetrators, not just for trafficking, but sex predators and also other types of predators, watch your social footprint and your profile, your social profile, and they look to see where you're vulnerable and where you would possibly, fall prey to some of these things in trafficking. On Wednesday, the University of the West Indies Institute of Gender and Development Studies, they hosted a session by a university professor from Canada where they spoke about trafficking in the context of colonialism and gave the history of trafficking, spoke about the UN protocol, and also shared some other interesting ideas. We also had on Thursday evening, we had a session with the migrant community, a bilingual session. It's the first time we had a session like that for the migrants. And they were very interested in what we had to share in terms of victims and some of the things that victims require. Because oftentimes we think that the rescuing a victim is the highlight, but the rescuing a victim is actually the beginning of the work for the Counter Trafficking Unit and for the stakeholders. Once you get a victim, you now have to initiate an investigation. And a part of initiating the investigation means that you are required to roll out victim care. All right, you have a person under your care and you have to feed them, clothe them, you have to house them, and you also have to provide them with the psychosocial support that they require. You also have to, this is someone where trust would have been broken because they would have been trafficked by persons they trusted. And now you have to basically restore the trust that they would have in anybody, more so the trust in the authorities. You also have to somehow help them to understand what true friendship is and what true love is, because oftentimes victims are of the view that their traffickers are their friends and their traffickers are seeking their interests. And that's all part of the grooming process and the whole psychological trauma bonding that takes place between a victim and a perpetrator. And then, of course, we have the spoken word competition where we're going to announce the results today. So generally, I would say the week, we did target specific groups for this week. And it was not just about raising awareness, because many persons in society they're aware that there is human trafficking. They're aware of some of the elements of trafficking. But what next? What do we do next? And so what we did was really stir up parents to really be on greater guard with your children. Also to stir up young people to be on guard when they're on social media and when they're in chat rooms and stuff. And also to cause the migrants to be aware of what their rights are, whether they are regular or irregular migrants. Once you are a victim of trafficking, there are certain rights that would be played out. So I think that's the week in a nutshell, really. And one positive thing we had also was there was a parent who called our hotline, and he was so grateful for the information that was provided during the week because he had a daughter who was interested in going to teach English as a second language in one of the Asian countries. And, you know, a young person never left home before, never went to that part of the world. And here it is, the parent was very worried. So he was advised, of course, to contact the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs because, you know, these agencies will always, teaching English as a second language is a high demand area and industry. And you know that there will be different agencies trying to recruit persons for that in different countries. So it's important to verify that those agencies are legitimate, number one, and that the contract agreement that you're getting into is also a legitimate contract agreement, and that where they say you're going to be staying and all of the arrangements are actually what will happen when you get there. You won't want to know that you're thousands of miles away from home, where you have to pay $20,000 for one ticket to get back home, and you're stuck in a country, you don't speak the language, you don't know anybody, and the persons who you thought you could have trusted, you can't trust them. So it's really important to check and do your background checks before you even make those types of moves. So that's the week in a nutshell.
You know what I'm really happy about, Miss Wheeler, listening to General Duke, Miss Duke from North Central Region, and of course all the others who we spoke with, Akeem, and it really this generation getting educated on it, and you could see that they paid attention and they learned something from it. And I'm really happy for that too as well, because they too now can help spread the word on the ground about human trafficking.
Yes, certainly. It's important for young persons to know it because these are the vulnerable persons, and your parent or your guardian won't always be around to tell you, don't do this, don't do that, don't speak to this person, don't speak to that person. You as an individual, you have to make that choice in terms of who you embrace as your friends, who you trust, and who you hang out with, and who you have interaction with on social media. You know, a lot of people have virtual friends. that they've never
Yes.
met in person. And we
Yes.
know the popular thing is how many likes. So I want to know that I have 2,000 fans or 2,000 likes on Instagram, and you just have 2 likes, so you're nobody. But I have 2,000 likes, so I am a somebody, and everybody's following me. And it gets to our head, and we start to post everything and anything that we do. It goes on the social media page because we have attention and we have 2,000 people following our every move. So of course that is a catch. It's a trap in itself for you, the individual. And we like to bear our emotions and our sleeves in social media. So if we have a bad day, the 2,000 plus followers have to know that we had a bad day. If we broke up with the boyfriend or the girlfriend, everybody has to know we broke up with them. If we had a fallout at home or something happened in school, everybody has to know that this happened. If we have to go somewhere or travel somewhere, we on the beach, we take a picture, click, post it up, and everybody must know we were on the beach, we were having shark and bake, we were down the islands, we went to some party somewhere, just everything. We just put all our business out there, and it's really not advisable to be doing those things because we don't know who is looking at our page.
Correct. And it's said thing I was saying to the trainees of the Conservation Corps that this phone that we have, these devices that we have, there's advantages, but there are serious disadvantages to owning them as well, and they can get us into serious hot water. So we really have to be careful what we post and everything that you do. Even applying for a job or applying for a visa, they would ask for all the social media platforms that you're on, and they will go back and check that too as well. So it's very important.
Yes, they do. And I'm happy you said that, because on social media and even sometimes our profile pictures. I mean, I've looked at the profile pictures of some young women and some mature women also, and some of our profile pictures could be quite provocative.
Yes.
And we don't realize that our co-workers and our employers and even some of the people we work with in other agencies, they're watching our profile picture, and particularly if it's our work phone or our work device, there's no need to have a provocative picture as your profile picture for those types of things, and even on your social media and stuff, we have to be mindful of the things that we post and how we bear ourselves out there, if we consider ourselves young professionals or even mature professionals. We just have to be mindful of those things and what message we're sending out there.
Yes, very important. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we have Miss Alana Wheeler via Facebook, and also you can join us live on YouTube as well if you cannot get onto Facebook, or those of you listening to us on radio at home, I95.5 FM. We thank you very much for joining. This is a very special evening, and the trainees of the Civilian Conservation Corps took part in a spoken word competition related to the themes of human trafficking, and we're going to show you their videos in a while. I'm really anxious for you to see that because it's really good work, I must say. Miss Wheeler, with the young people, you could tell us about that now. How you felt about that, what the judges thought about the submissions that they got.
Yes, well, I'll first start with the how we came about this spoken word competition. The theme that we chose, of course, for the week was from awareness to action. So what we did is we decided to just invite a small group of young, well, it's actually not a small group. CCC is about 1,000 young persons, I understand, young adults. That's quite a large group. But we wanted to target a group that was, a bit vulnerable in the population. And they were selected. And we gave them 3 topics. The 3 topics we gave them were real men don't buy women and girls, humans are not for sale, break the silence, break the chains. And they had to select one or more of those topics, and they were invited to submit a creative piece via video. So the rules that we gave them, the competition was open only to CCC members. The spoken word pieces submitted for judging must be original work, so we didn't want plagiarism or anything. The submissions were to be made via video format, and the creative pieces were not to exceed 3 minutes. The judge's decision was final, and the deadline was the 19th of July. So we then chose a team of judges, spoken word judges. I don't know if at this point you would want me to say who the judges are.
No, we could do that after the break. Just wanted to give them a little teaser.
Yeah. So we'll pause here then.
Right. So, good evening to the Minister of Youth Development and National Service, Mr. Foster Cummins. Thank you very much for listening. And this is your chance to see the children under your care in action.
Young people.
The young people. Well, they're children to me, but yes, I understand. Okay. Yes. And CCC trainees, some of you who are online here and to the listeners of Trinidad and Tobago, please join with me in wishing Natasha a happy birthday too. Her birthday was yesterday. And so Natasha, this lady sitting right here with me, she celebrated her birthday. So you all can wish her a happy birthday from me, please. She had a very, and she's getting younger too.
Yes,
she's getting younger.
47 years young. And please, all don't call me Tanti. I reached Tanti stage. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Folks. So then we have that guest appearance. So let's take a break, and Shortman will hook up with Anyawa. And then we'll return with more right here on Independency. Stay right there.
You're listening to Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha. Reality radio at its best.
Coming soon to TV6, the Eye on Dependency TV series, Eye on Health. Starting on August 1st, you'll learn about NCDs from survivors and experts. Eye on Health, Sundays at 8:30 p.m. and only on TV6.
Thank you for calling the Counter Trafficking Unit of Trinidad and Tobago. How may I help you?
The Trinidad and Tobago's Counter Trafficking Unit, also called the CTU, was established through an Act of Parliament, the Trafficking in Persons Act, Chapter 1210, or the TIPS Act. We are a specialized, multidimensional, civilian-led agency under the Ministry of National Security, responsible for the daily operations of the counter-trafficking response of the Government of Trinidad and Tobago. We implement government policies developed by the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons, effective identification of victims and witnesses, prevention of trafficking, protection and prosecution, all through effective partnerships. We also operate a toll-free anonymous hotline, 800-4288 for CTU, where the public can report possible cases of human trafficking. We screen and interview persons to identify possible victims of trafficking. We refer identified victims to appropriate agencies for support and care. Specially trained, positively vetted police officers working in the CTU gather evidence, investigate, and prosecute human trafficking cases. In keeping with our public education mandate, we also deliver training to our many stakeholders and partners. We collaborate with local, regional, and international organizations, NGOs, churches, and faith-based organizations to educate and warn the public on how to recognize human trafficking. We are the Counter Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security, Trinidad and Tobago, safeguarding human life.
Hello, my name is Raquel, a trainee inmate at HMP Drake Hall, Staffordshire, England, and you're listening to Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha. Please, people, don't traffic drugs. Your money is all that nice, if not worth it.
Right, thank you for staying with us. Somebody said the belly boiling. Yeah, well,
Yes.
yeah, let the belly boil. I hold the butterflies. Drink some water and relax.
Yes.
We're gonna have you. We're gonna keep you in some tension.
In suspense
Yes,
until
but
the last minute.
and as Natasha requested, don't call her Tanti. Somebody call her Tanti. But say Auntie instead of Tanti now. Say
Yeah,
Auntie
auntie is
Natasha.
more appropriate. Yeah. I can deal with that. The tanti
So,
part.
happy birthday, Auntie Natasha.
Thank you very much, everybody, for your
Yes, thank
good
you for your
things.
birthday greetings, everybody. Thank you so much. So yes, so we should have Anyawa on the line now. Who will, Miss Wheeler? This is a young lady representing the St. James Police Youth Club, who will make a guest appearance now. Just before you get into the judges and releasing the results and all of that. So our guest appearance, Miss Anyawa Adams, is she on the line? And is she ready to go with her performance, Miss Adams? Right. So while Shortman is doing his thing, you all know our man off site is working diligently to keep everybody online. And after the results, Major David Benjamin, we could probably bring you back for you to congratulate the winners. I know that wasn't planned, but we hope that you're still around, that you could you can congratulate the top 3 from the regions would have copped the top 3 places in the spoken word competition. So as I said, we're standing by for our guest appearance. I see as if Shortman, are we getting through with Anyawa? So that she's a up and coming spoken word artist herself, and she's been doing a great job. We had her on our program here before. She's 17 years now, and she
did a piece on the topic. Hi,
yes,
Anyawa.
Hello, Anyawa. Good evening.
Hi, a pleasant good evening to all listeners and viewers present.
Right.
To the special guests invited, and the nominees for tonight's spoken word contest. All the results, all the best to all of them, and those viewing from the Conservation Corps.
Right. So, trainees, please allow me to introduce to you. Anyawa, you ready to go?
Yes, I am ready.
Right.
Good.
So, trainees, please allow us to introduce you to Miss Anyawa Adams. She is a member of the St. James Police Youth Club, and she's about to do a piece on real men don't buy women and girls. So, Anyawa, take it away.
Okay. The bills you throw are not for taxes. These gifts you buy aren't for special occasions. You're leaving no good ideas in my mind. In no way you are kind to my gender. In using us, you find great pleasure. The disgust in me for that trust you seek, no good intentions, we're sure. But instead of jobs, it's us you look for. I don't want a date. No, I don't need your hate. After I reject what's not my fate, hands down out the door. All you evil men belong inside Earth's core. My hours are not for sale. Sugars and Smalley is not my name. All victims rise. These men need to apologize. They are the ones accountable for the actions that make us feel uncomfortable. We are mothers of the future that ought to be respected, not to be bribed with purses and a costume jewelry necklace, preying on us like we're on some kind of one-night stand list. Real men see us as queens. So please consider the fact that we are humans too. Not a woman too weak to see behind these trinkets and tricks up your manly sleeves. Would you agree to me using you if I bought you a shoe? So now you see what the problem is indeed. Real man, come on, a new age has come. Don't hate or discriminate when we say no because you can't wait. Respect my plea that this isn't done commercially. We aren't heartless. We don't hate men. We prefer to rate them for kindness and respect, but we can't yet until there's a change. Because a real man won't do such things for sex in exchange. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Let's have some applause for Anyawa. Thank you.
Well done, sister.
Well done.
Thank you very much. I see my batch on TV. What is going on? I get frightened. Anyawa, thank you. I know you're part of a concert and fashion show that's taking place right now with the Youth Club. You're having an Emancipation Day session, not so?
Yes, I am currently at the event, and this event is like no other. For once, this time, the youths of the Police Youth Club are now becoming the audience, thus making it the first one in history, I hope.
Lovely.
All right. Well, we hope it goes well, and we'll let you go now to participate in that event.
She's the MC, actually.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. A pleasant good evening to all.
All right,
and
take
happy
care.
Emancipation.
Same to you, darling.
Thank you. Same to you.
Right, and so, Trainees, that was your guest artist, Miss Anyawa Adams. She's up and coming. She's been at it for, a few months, and she's doing well. She's getting better and better, and we wish her all the best in her future as a spoken word artist, among other things. Indeed. Right, so Miss Wheeler, for that big moment we've been waiting for, so tell us about the judges and the how they came up with the winners and all of that. Over to you again.
Okay, thanks again, Garth and Natasha, and that was a really good piece. I must say, I am no spoken word expert in any way, so it all just sounds good once it's relevant. So, our judges, we had three spoken word experts or artists who were part of the panel, and of course, the Counter Trafficking Unit was also part of the judging panel, and we had Mrs. Rabia Khan and her team, who were also part of the judging panel. Mr. Deron Sandy. He was born in 1987 in Maloney, Trinidad and Tobago. He has been a spoken word poet for 12 years. He uses the art form to create solutions for education, entertainment, and entrepreneurship. Sandy has served as the artistic director for spoken word poetry organization 2 Cents Movement since 2017. We then also had Mr. Matima Abdul Ghani Millington Solwazi. He is a living example of displaying resilience in the quest for achieving success by utilizing spoken word as a tool for social activism, civic engagement, arts education, literary development, social entrepreneurship, and event organizing. He is the founder and the CEO of the Oral Tradition Roots Foundation, producer of the annual Cascadoo Spoken Word Festival, the bi-monthly Take the Stage, and the annual Roots Poetry Slam. Roots Foundation, the Caribbean franchise for an annual US-based Brave New Voices Spoken Word Festival. Matima Solwazi is a registered artist with the Artist Registry and a World Cultures Connect cultural ambassador. He uses spoken word poetry and the Pierrot Grenade, that's French, to engage with vulnerable youth in at-risk circumstances and opportunity youth. Data collected from his years of work provided empirical evidence to support his sociology master's thesis, which he called How the Voice of the Poet and the Use of Spoken Word Poetry Promotes Pro-Social Behavior in Youth from At-Risk Circumstances and Opportunity Youth in Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, that was a long one for Matima. And I'm sure there's more about him. I think he is also one of the beneficiaries of one of those United States exchange programs. Miss Crystal St. Hilaire, I think she may be Dr. St. Hilaire. She is an emergency room doctor by profession and a spoken word artist by passion. She is a former national track athlete, a national scholarship winner. She was the 2013 versus Bocas Poetry Slam champion and is perhaps best known for her viral piece, Maximan Tracking Schoolgirl. In all this, Crystal acknowledges that these achievements pale in comparison for her love for the Lord Jesus Christ. Crystal can be found using spoken word as a tool to take care of her father's business, and her father in capital meaning God's business. So I think we had three very good experts, and then of course we had the Counter Trafficking Unit and Mrs. Khan and her team. Should we take a break now, or should I go on to talk about the spoken word rubric?
You could speak about that, and then we take a break because we have someone who came in for special mention, and then
we'll play his video and then go to the break.
Yes, so Chinese, as I said, we have the results for you this evening. I know you all are waiting in great anticipation. So hang on, we'll get there. Miss Wheeler, go ahead.
This is real suspense. I myself am in suspense. So the spoken word, they call it rubric, so I did learn a few things from this. There were 4 categories that the judges chose. The first category was 5 points maximum, and that was for literary devices. So to get 5 points, the piece had to include many appropriate literary devices and only at appropriate times. Each device used enhances the message greatly. You got 5 points for that. Points between 1 and 5. The second category was coherence. Again, between points 1 to 5, 5 being the maximum. Piece follows a well thought out storyline, extremely challenging content. The third category was performance, and the points ranged from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. The voice is clear, crisp, mastery of pacing and rhythm, excellent use of voice range and intonation, authoritative, excellent body language and eye contact, great confidence being on stage, and great positioning on stage. And the last category is content. And that's where the Counter Trafficking Unit would have judged this category with Mrs. Khan and her team. The points in this category ranged from 1 to 20, 20 being the highest. The theme is interpreted with accuracy. The poet shows the ability to analyze the idea of human trafficking and apply it to relevant situations, even advancing the meaning beyond the context. So here we're looking for human trafficking content with a maximum of 20 points per performer. And of course, well, all the performed poems had to be written by the performer. And if they found any plagiarism, of course, well, that piece would have been immediately disqualified. So that's it really for the categories for judging and for the judges. I hand back over to Gart.
Right, so,
All right, so
we're going to a break now?
Well, before we go to break, we have to share one of the pieces which came in for special mention. I don't know if you want to talk about this piece before we play it.
Yes, we had one student who was some of them sent the pieces 3 and 4 times in the email. So we had one student who was very diligent with sending his piece. He sent it 3 times to us in 3 different versions because he wanted to be so sure that we received the email. It was a bit difficult to open the piece. I don't know if it was because it was just a very large file, but eventually we were able to open the piece. And what we found was that he actually scored the highest for human trafficking content. He scored 19 out of 20. And his name is Mr. David Friday. So we would like to play his piece because we found it was a very unusual video. Now, unfortunately, we could not use Mr. Friday's piece in the judging because one of the categories is that you have to see the person to be able to judge their body language and their eye contact and everything. And there was no person in this video, but it was really a nice video put together. And we thought that the content was really, really good. And so we just wanted to share it with the audience, the listening audience.
That's right. So if you missed it, David Friday from North Central Region, you were excellent. You scored 19 out of 20, but you weren't on camera.
For content.
For content, yes.
It's good for content.
Yes, for content, you had 19 out of 20, but you didn't go on camera, and that's so unfortunate. But we still decided that because of the work that you put into this, we're going to share it now with the audience. So, folks, here is David Friday from North Central Region, who came in for special mention on this competition. But look at this piece from David Friday.
Humans are not for sale. Were you there when agony hit the womb? Were you there when excitement of fear consumed the room? When she first found out she was bringing in new life from Texas instead of the seed into the earth. Almost like a plant or the stem bursting through the dirt. To be fertile is the of many, and now she's blessed with a child. Even though the environment is not conducted, she will make it worthwhile. The dad hears the news and goes for doubles to never to return. And now she has to fend on the earth and it burns. To know she fall for the same trap too. Her dad left her mom at the age of 22. Now at 18 she has no clue what to do. With no passes to qualify for a job. She getting the time waste while she sits there and sobs. Her friends are telling her ways to make a quick buck. Desperation hadn't hit yet. For dependent on a mom who had enough, who need some space alone, rented an apartment for them to call home in a different zone. Now desperation finally hits like a knockout blow in round 6, while her son is crying because he's so fed up of eating cricks. She accepts the offer to sell and slaughter her identity. Her life is descended from a standing position to a bending knee, just to keep her family. She made a plan to get back on her feet. She didn't want this to become a life, it would be a tragedy. Beginning to accept this new reality, her friend made some calls agilely for her to make some quick cash. The son would go by Granny while she made a quick dash to a client who is unknown. She became a popular figure, in fact, so much so one day she was kidnapped. The clientele she would bring was looking like profit in some side. She wasn't even given an opportunity to put up a fight. She was shifted into a new area abruptly, feeling hopeless, scared and ashamed, reflecting on her days and seeing her son smiling. All the days, she only did so he could eat, but the desperation would trample on like cane like the dead meat. I know she's a slave, lost her human rights, and her mind's beginning to cave in. With a son without a mom and dad at the age of 8, please, why is this an option? Humans are not for sale, but her son is about to experience adoption. While the clock ticks, another fall victim too. When desperation becomes a currency that spreads faster than COVID-19 flu, you and I could bring about a change. Pimping is legal but still take place in our streets today. She didn't know her worth and someone saw her value and treated her less than dirt. Like I said, we can make a change. Let's go from awareness to action, the best means of transaction to bring forth satisfaction to our neighbors and create a chain of reaction to tell our daughters that they don't need to sell themselves because of the attraction. Humans are not for sale. Desperation should not make that an appropriate reaction. My name is David Friday from Team 8, North Central Region. Humans are not for sale.
Excellent effort, David. Excellent effort. We just wish we could have seen you doing that
David,
performance.
Boy. Yes, David.
But would we appreciate the effort?
Yes, well done. And I mean, God, you send it over and over to make sure we got it. I'm so happy that you kept trying. And Miss Wheeler, as you said, well done to this. Well done, well done.
Yes, definitely well done. Very creative videos.
Yes.
So we have a video producer in the making there.
Yes. And you know, it was even suggested that Miss Wheeler even suggested that, David, you know, you could pursue your passion in that regard. I hope you could get an OJT at a maybe television station or something like, you know, a studio, production studio. But well done, David. North Central Region, big up yourself.
All right. So let's take that break now. And when we come back, we will start
get into
with
the results. You're ready for the results?
The big three.
All right. Yes, the big three. After this break, we'll be back.
This is reality radio at its best. Eye on Dependency on I-95.5 FM.
Coming soon to TV6, the Eye on Dependency TV series, Eye on Health. Starting on August 1st, you'll learn about NCDs from survivors and experts. Eye on Health, Sundays at 8:30 p.m. and only on TV6.
Hi, babe.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
You busy?
Not for you. How could I assist?
Okay, we have a job for you.
Job? What kind of job is it?
Morning, the boss. If I have a small work for you, I'll 5,000. What you do? Pick up some girls, drop them and remember by the boss. So we making a quick 5,000.
Girls, boss. Where's this about?
Listen to me now. It's not a small work. You reach in Toko, pick up some girls, drop them and Rima. 5,000.
That sounding like human trafficking. Are you trying to set me up or what? Partner, you know the penalty for human trafficking? Look, I gone now. Excuse me, please.
Do you know that human trafficking is considered a serious crime in Trinidad and Tobago and is punishable by law under the Trafficking in Persons Act Chapter 1210 or the TIPS Act? The penalties for recruiting, receiving, transporting, or housing a victim of human trafficking are a minimum of 15 years for trafficking adults and a fine of $500,000, a minimum of 20 years for trafficking children and a fine of $1 million, a fine of $350,000 and imprisonment for 12 years for transporting a person within or across TT borders for the purpose of exploiting that person for prostitution, a fine of $400,000 and imprisonment for 15 years for persons who receive a financial or other benefits from tips, a fine of $500,000 and imprisonment for 20 years for any person who receives a financial or other benefits from trafficking children, an additional 15 years imprisonment for any trafficker who uses or threatens to use a dangerous weapon on a victim, or where the victim suffers serious bodily harm, or the victim contracts a life-threatening illness or is sexually assaulted, or if the trafficker abuses his power as someone entrusted with the care or supervision of a child victim. Imprisonment for 25 years for any member of the Defense or Protective Services or any official or public officer having the powers of arrest who commits an offense. Court can order forfeiture of convicted trafficker's property. A company can be fined $5 million for engaging in tips.
We are the Counter Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security, Trinidad and Tobago, safeguarding human life.
Hi, I'm Danielle and you're listening to Eye on Dependency, where every life is a biography, Trinidad and Tobago. Don't traffic drugs, it's not worth it.
Thank you for staying with us. You're listening to Independency, and we are hosting a very beautiful program here this evening, and we have Miss Alana Wheeler, Director of the Counter Trafficking Unit, online with us. And thank you for joining us on I95.5, live on the Independency Facebook page and YouTube channel. These results, boy, could we release them next week instead of this week? Anyway, them treaties and them. If you see them, we heard they correlate online here. No. So Miss Robley from Tobago said, you know how long we ready? I know.
Whole strain.
So CCC had a quiz competition earlier this year, and the first place, the third place winner was Tobago, Dewan Ramsey and Patrice Smith as the reserve, and they placed third. Second in that quiz competition was Amanda Janky Beyonce Patterson. They were the folks who took part from who represented Central. And placing first Northwest region, Tamika Sandyford and Joseph Bowen. And Debbie Ann Dyer was the reserve, and they were the overall winners of that competition. So this time now we have spoken word competition.
Yes.
And we are about to show you those videos, and we hand it over now to Miss Alana Wheeler to reveal who were the top 3 people.
Well, no, the top 2. Well, let's start with third place.
3,
Shortman put up that.
Start with number 3.
Number 3. So Shortman put up that. Let's show them what the prize is for the third place, and Miss Alana Wheeler will tell us about that entry.
Okay, yes. So that is a Samsung A12 cell phone, sponsored by the International Organization for Migration and the Interclub of Trinidad and Tobago. So, can I announce the name of the person who wins that cell phone?
Yes, please do.
You can.
Drum roll. And the third place winner.
The third place winner, it goes to Miss Jada Ryan of the Central Region.
Jada Ryan.
Jada Ryan, you are the third place. And Shortman now will put up your video so that the folks can see your performance. Let's look at Jada Ryan.
Real Men Don't Buy Women and Girls. Written by Jada Ryan. Presented by me, Jada Ryan, representing the Civilian Conservation Corps, Central Region. You see, real men don't buy women and girls. You want to know the truth? This is the truth. There are lots of women and girls have been sold, abducted, missing, and been used for human trafficking. It is not something you can go out and buy in a store. God has placed women on this earth for a reason and a purpose. As a matter of fact, women came from man to be a helpmeet. They deserve the respect, love, and support, not to be ridiculed and treated for naught. This is a disease, wickedness in the worst way. To see such a demise can come upon anyone, much less women and girls being taken against their will without they saying the matter, walking on the street, sitting in a taxi, anywhere at any time. Even our girls not exempted from it. Taken, stolen from us, never to be seen again. Used for pleasure and entertainment. We are human beings with feelings, heart, and emotions, and at times strong. We are not a piece of land or cattle to be traded and trafficked at anyone's whims and fancy. We have to, must, and can stand against this injustice which has befallen us. We must rally around our nation. We need to stand up and break those barriers, knots, and chains, and take back our rights as humans. We are not animals for sale. We are human beings with values and morals. Let's fight against this evil act. Real men don't buy women and girls.
Humans are not for sale. Break the silence. Break the chain.
That was our third place winner, Jada Ryan from Central Region Civilian Conservation Corps.
Well done, Jada.
Well
done. You understood what you had to do, and you did it. Thank you very much.
Understood the assignment.
Yes. So, Ms. Wheeler, what do you think?
Well, should we break or should we go on to the second place?
Let us spare them attention. We go on to the second place, and then after that, you keep them in some tension, right? So,
second place.
Second place.
Short man put up the prize.
I just really wanted to say thanks to all of the students who made submissions. We had, and I forgot to mention this earlier. Yes, we had 16 submissions.
Right.
From the various regions, from all the regions actually. I think we got submissions. And they were quite good, I would say, quite good in some of them for human trafficking content. Some of them were content more for domestic violence and incest, you know, so, but we were really looking for the human trafficking content. So, yeah, I guess maybe I'm just trying to drag this out a little bit more. You know,
that's all right. That's
as I did say before, talk about Human Trafficking Awareness Week. Last week was a really good week that we had. You know, we could have played some of these videos on our Facebook page. Maybe we could post some of the videos on our Facebook page.
Yes,
certainly. You know, right. Okay, so Garth and they really pressuring me here. So this is his second place prize. It's a Samsung A31. Cell phone, again, donated by the International Organization for Migration and the Interclub of Trinidad and Tobago. So we are thankful to them for their kindness and their sponsorship. The Interclub does a lot of really good work, you know, with issues concerning women.
Yes.
I remember in 2019, they hosted a conference in Hilton Hotel that dealt specifically with human trafficking. And we had a really good panel with Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, myself, Joel Ali from the IOM. We won that panel. And it was actually really good and really well attended. So before anybody pelts me with stones, it's a good thing this is all virtual.
Ms. Wheeler, no, before you go, Ms. Wheeler, I want to say to the trainees again, remember what I said before, right? Remember, this is a competition. In competition, we have winners and losers. And even your region didn't win or lose, you need to be graceful in winning and losing. That's what it's all about. It's about life. That's life. And we have to understand that. So congratulate the winners.
Yes,
and
they
you
are.
know, and so far you all are doing well. You're showing that maturity. Thank you so much for that. And Ms. Wheeler, now you can announce the winner of the second place winner for the spoken word competition.
Okay, and the second place goes to, drum roll. All right. Miss Journey Macmillan and her team from Central Region.
Yes.
Central again.
Jenny
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Central. God, Esther must be smiling from ear to ear. Put up that video shot, man.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's see that
Jenny
performance.
Macmillan.
What's Next by me, Jenny Macmillan from Central Region CCC. Back when I was effortlessly me, looking fixedly up to the blue, free as an unapologetic, unfettered bird, extending its wings to the blustery winds of the heavens, chanting her songs of never-ending freedom.
Until she sings, but deep down, she longs for purpose.
An invigorating adventure like no other. The thought of life left me wide awake, wondering nervously to what awaits on this unpredictable pathway. A doctor's degree?
Or a chance to an opportunity of everlasting unity.
What's next? Just as I proceed, experiencing the charms of life, a taste of love and fondness. I was unwittingly drowning in the stupidity of enchantment, being submissive to the enticer, ignoring the advice of a mother who showers her words of good intentions.
But I am young.
I suppose, as ignorant as a determined soul. These words will be the last of the innocent, the bold. What's next? You see, the man I thought was my childhood dream was actually your plotting scheme, and now I see foolish me would think 6 weeks was eternity. Although the words of my loving mother lingering through my state of delta. Take it easy as the rain begins to fall on my skin. Realization dripped in. I am a victim of trafficking. Captivity? Am I not part of this humanity? What's next? The scent of an unsavory whiff met my perception, awakening the tears of realistic aggression.
Less able to say a word, vertiginous and intoxicated as a swaying serpent. At that moment, memories of innocence caught my attention, while the greed of power takes its uninformed consent possession.
What's next? Brutality? What's next? Materiality? What's next? Slavery? Humans are not for sale. Yet so to the oppressors, you cold-hearted monsters, ignoring the tears of my tormented figures.
Have you no shame to this unfair game?
Please, I plead to be free for the tears of a mother.
It falls to your destiny, yet you desire money. Have you no sister, no daughter?
Oh, mother, where is your dignity?
My dignity.
Oh, I see, you desire liberty.
Free to do whatever you please.
Humans are not for sale.
Am I not part of this humanity?
Am I not a human being?
What's next for us?
Victims of captivity?
What's next?
What's next?
Please, what's next for me?
Content and what was actually presented, but the video, just the costumes, everything. I mean, it was outstanding. I mean, the music, everything, the credits at the end, even, outstanding. Really, really good effort.
Well done, Cecil and Esther. Well done with those trainees, man. Well done. Good job. Good job. So, Ms. Wheeler,
what did you make of that performance?
Okay, like we lose Ms. Wheeler for a bit. We should be back, I'm sure.
All right. Well, we can.
So, folks, so here she is.
Okay.
Ms. Wheeler?
Yes, I'm on, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was hearing you. So we had 5 additional persons in that video. So what the judges, we decided to do is that the rest of the team, they will be given chocolates, some special chocolates, and so everybody in that team will get something.
Right.
Great.
And I was thinking something, but I wouldn't say it now. But I think they too deserve that special gift as well. So we will get in touch with Central. But congratulations, Central Region. Job well done. You all managed to take first, third, and second, and that is well done. Good job. And so, who won? Who copped the first prize? This is really exciting for us, and you're going to find out that now after this break. Stay right there.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Eye on Dependency, where every life is a biography. On the Eye, 95.5, the most influential name in radio.
Coming soon to TV6, the Eye on Dependency TV series, Eye on Health. Starting on August 1st, you will learn about NCDs from survivors and experts. Eye on Health, Sundays at 8:30 p.m. and only on TV6.
Listen now, I've noticed something out. Them new people are never beauty. Where's that? Girl, the man is passing up and down in front of here with a set of woman. I really noticed some woman living there, And they can't even say as much as good morning. Well, listen now. I wonder if it's human trafficking. You think it's that?
So, how can you spot and identify perpetrators and victims of trafficking? Many victims are found living and working together in the same place and sleep in shared and inappropriate spaces. Victims work excessively long hours. They often sleep in the daytime and work long nights. They are often escorted everywhere they go and may appear to be malnourished. They may show signs of physical abuse, drug and alcohol use, and may also appear withdrawn, fearful, or intimidated. Victims who are migrants are often not in possession of their identity or immigration documents and have irregular immigration status. Perpetrators can be male or female and may appear to be managing or controlling the victims. And they may even at times appear to be the victim's best friend, boyfriend, or employer.
We are the Counter Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security, Trinidad and Tobago, safeguarding human life.
I-95.5 FM.
Right, so thank you for staying with us. And now, Ms. Wheeler, are you ready to reveal the winner of the first prize of the spoken word competition? Short man, you can get ready to hook up with Major Benjamin again, so he could give the vote of thanks. We will love him to comment on what he just saw and to give a vote of thanks. So,
and also put up, let's see the prize for the
Ms. Wheeler,
first prize.
Let's go to the first place winner. Short man, put up the first prize to see what the first prize is for that first place winner. There you go.
Okay,
Wheeler,
so the first prize is a Lenovo Chromebook laptop, courtesy again International Organization for Migration
Short man,
and
we're not
the
hearing Ms.
Interclub of
Wheeler.
Trinidad and Tobago. You're hearing me? Are you hearing me, God?
Right, bear with us a bit, folks. While Mr. Boris tries to. Right, she's back with us.
Okay. Once you hear crickets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yes.
7, 8.
Well, we heard the crickets before you, so.
Okay, there I was rambling on and on and on, and I
Yes.
thought you all were hearing.
Right.
Right, so that's a Lenovo Chromebook laptop, courtesy the International Organization for Migration and Interclub of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
And just to talk a little bit about, our social media pages. We have the Counter Trafficking Unit TT Facebook page. Now, we know Facebook is seemingly outdated for teenagers and young persons, right? But we still do stuff on Facebook. They say Facebook is only old people now that go on Facebook.
Yes.
But we have our Facebook page and we have our YouTube channel, Counter Trafficking Unit TT. You can look at those two pages to find out all the things that we did for the past week, to find all the videos that you just saw, the educational videos. They're very short. They're like 1 to 2 minutes in length. And feel free to share the educational videos in your different forum. And we also have, you can view all of the sessions that we had during the past week. They can be viewed on our Facebook page. We have posted them, including Maria's testimony is on Facebook. Feel free again to share that, to share the link and continue to view it online. And we also have our hotline, 800-4288 for CTU, for persons to report any suspected cases of or activity of human trafficking. They can also contact the nearest police station. They can contact a specialized police unit. You also have the Children's Authority hotline, Childline, which is 24 hours. And we have the labor inspectors if there are any labor violations. So is there anything else, God, that we would need to talk about before? Nobody could pelt me with stones because I am in a room here all by myself virtually. So I could go on and on and on and on. And 5 to 8.
Yes, I know, but
they go pelt me virtually.
Yes, they go start pelting me virtually here. So Ms. Wheeler, the first place winner of this spoken word competition, first time in history for us here, first time in history for the CTU, and of course the CCC. And the first place winner goes to drum roll.
So the theme for this year's UN World Day Against Trafficking in Persons is Victims' Voices Lead the Way. And so we want to be sure that every person had that message and got that message. The winner is Oops, let me see if I have my paper here correct. Yes, I don't want to call the wrong name, you know. If I call the wrong name, that could be problems.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So here we have from the South Central region.
South Central.
Miss Kayla Cooper.
Miss Akela Cooper.
From South Central.
All right. South Central.
You
Big up
are
on the
the
whole
way.
self.
Yes,
Big up
yes.
on the whole self. Short man. Put up Miss
Run the track.
Run the track. Let's go with that
My
performance.
name is Akela Cooper, and I am from the South Central region of the Civilian Conservation Corps, and my spoken word topic is humans are not for sale. This is not some Nancy story or fairy tale. All humans are not for sale. Beaten, broken, and shackled for the use of their bodies, their cries for help was heard by nobody. A heart, a lung, an eyeball, a kidney, a live or not, they are going to skin me. They promised to take me to my destination, but instead they drug me. Where am I? In another nation. Age don't matter. They don't care if you're a baby. They sell your body and take your soul, as long as they have you under their control. Her body for their pleasure, while she screams in pain, they left her lifeless body shackled in chain. Skin to skin, she was tied to the floor. With not much strength left in her, she was beaten some more. Please, please, oh God, have mercy. Her screams was like water, which made them thirsty. Blank in her thoughts, while she sat there, feeling restricted. That white powder had her quite addicted. Wondering if there would be any law or any order. Soon her organs will be shipped across the border. A couple $1,000 to be another human being. This multi-billion-dollar industry is very much real. Don't even try to complain or explain your body like luggage for drugs such as cocaine in a house of bondage where there's darkness, no light, consumed by fear. It's hard to put up a fight. Someone who they trusted with their future and plans, someone who they thought would easily understand. Victim or not, your voice is heard. Let's bring awareness by spreading the word. Thank you.
Wow. Akela Cooper.
Yeah.
South Central Region Civilian Conservation Corps, congratulations to you and to the entire region and all of the participants and all of the winners this evening.
And we have the Major back online to give a vote of thanks and congratulate his trainees. Major, welcome back. You are, you and Miss Wheeler online.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, Major, go ahead.
I am indeed in awe. The talent that I saw on display this evening. I mean, I got a sneak peek into some of the other videos, but what I saw this evening was really excellent. And I'm not tooting our own horn, but I'm saying, really dispassionately that these young people are the future of Trinidad and Tobago, and the talent that I see on display it really gives us hope in terms of what the potential is. The young people have really moved me this evening to make this an annual competition for the Civilian Conservation Corps. Spoken word is definitely the genre of the future. It's definitely the area that they love to express themselves in, opposed to not opposed to the other areas, but I'm saying that this certainly is one that we can build on. So with Iron Dependency, with the Counter Trafficking Unit, if you want to partner with Civilian Conservation Corps moving forward, we want to make this an annual competition, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the same specific topic, but the concept I think it has extreme value, and we can definitely explore all of the possibilities in terms of their potential. So to David Friday of the North Central region, excellent work. I was really taken aback by the imagery and the imagination that this young man put into his work.
Yes.
Jada Ryan of the Central region.
Yes.
Again, I was really taken aback by her imagery as well as her expression. Miss Macmillan, Johnny Macmillan and her team, it was really a team effort. And from the program director, I think that we definitely have to do something to honor each and every one of the persons who were part of that presentation. So I will do my part to ensure that those young people are celebrated in their excellence as well.
Yes.
And to the cream of the crop, Akela Cooper, you really moved me this evening, and your contribution was really one of passion, and your diction as well as your expression was par excellence, right? And I'm really pleased to be part of the Civilian Conservation Corps this evening. And just to say that with the 16 submissions, there are no losers in my book this evening. They are all winners. All of the persons who put their heart, their soul, their excellence into the presentations, I'm absolutely certain that they all come in for high regard, and I really want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for representing the Civilian Conservation Corps, representing the Specialized Youth Service Programs, and representing the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, and showing what the young persons and the future of Trinidad and Tobago can definitely do. So thank you to the Iron Dependency Program for highlighting us. Thank you to the Counter Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security and Miss Alana Wheeler and her team. And definitely thank you to the I-95.5 program for placing these young people on a platform where they can show their excellence and their self-expression. Thank you very much.
Major, thank you too.
Thank you again.
Take care, and we'll be in touch.
Great, thank you.
Okay. So, Ms. Wheeler, you have the final say because we just about close to wrap up time. We just wanted to quickly promote and let the trainees know that Dependency, you can catch us on TV this evening on TV6 at 8:30. For Shortman, put up Beverly piece quick so that we could see this long. Remember at CCC when I spoke to you all, we spoke about foundation. Well, this lady has that story to tell, and if some of you have the time this evening, it's streaming live on our YouTube channel as well, from 8:35. So, but on TV6 it starts at 8:30. So, Shortman, put up that quickly. Let them see what's coming up on TV6 this evening. Beverly is gonna start off with Beverly's story of Beverly Mawson. Beverly had a traumatic beginning in her life, recovering drug addict. Beverly was brutalized, raped, you name it. She been through it, and she survived it. And that is coming up this evening at 8:30 on TV6, where we start our Iron Health TV series. So while you wait on Shortman, Ms. Wheeler, any final words from you?
Yes, God?
Yes, go ahead. Any final comment from you?
You're hearing, right, okay.
Yes.
Yes, I just wanted to really say thanks and to acknowledge my minister, the Honorable Fitzgerald Hines, who is the Minister of National Security, and also the permanent secretaries in the Ministry of National Security, Mr. Gary Joseph and Ms. Dilchan, and the Deputy PSs, the executive, for granting us the approvals to really be able to execute this particular week. And a special honor and welcome to the Minister of Youth Development, who I understand is listening into this program.
Yes.
And just to say thank you to Iron Dependency and all of the persons who were a part of this Human Trafficking Awareness Week, the persons who did the videos, TTPS AV unit, their production team, excellent and very talented police officers using their skills in a way to get the message out there. And also the persons from the Counter Trafficking Unit, the staff and the officers who also supported and assisted in what we executed this week. My Deputy Director, Ms. Thomas, who executed a really good session for the bilingual community. And Ms. Amon, I just really want to say thank you also to the public and the members of the public and those who listened in and supported what we did for the week. It does not end here. This is only the continuation. And we continue to raise awareness. We continue to go from awareness to action. And we continue to identify victims and bring them to the authorities so they can receive the assistance and support that they need. God's blessings to all of you and a happy emancipation to Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, Ms. Wheeler, thank you so
very
much. God bless you. And keep up the good work, you and the Counter Trafficking Unit and all supporting agencies, the Minister of National Security and the PS and all others at the Ministry of National Security. God bless you all. Thank you very much, Ms. Wheeler. Take care. We'll keep in touch.
So,
folks, that's it for. Just before you go, let's share that quick piece of Bev, folks, and we agree with the program director. This will be an annual event. So there you go. We have an annual event now with Civilian Conservation Corps where this is concerned, and to keep you all on show. We have another program coming up with you again. This time we're going to be featuring past trainees of the Conservation Corps who will speak to you all here online and tell you about their time at CCC and where they are now. CCC has produced so many good citizens in this country here, and I urge the minister, please, sir, do all you can. I'm sorry we don't have more time for me to elaborate, but we'll do it on another program shortly. Please do all you can to keep this program up and running. Keep the trainees focused. The staff, they work very hard, and they deserve a raise actually for the work, to the job that they've been doing. The trainees deserve a raise in their stipend because you know this time around what entails. So let's go quickly with the video. Let's go. You heard me. Trainees, thank you very much. God bless you all. Let's go with Beverly quick and see what Beverly has to say. Listen to Beverly.
I was 5 years old when my mother passed, and then my grandmother, she didn't know about that. She couldn't educate herself, and there wasn't much education floating around, right? Me not knowing how to cope and with that low self-esteem and always seeking to fit in and belong is a major contribution, because wherever I felt belonged and accepted, that's where I went.
Right, folks, that's this evening.
8:30 p.m. on TV6 and 8:45 p.m. on the Our Independency YouTube channel. We are playing it slightly delayed so that there's no mix-up. So if you don't have access to TV6, you can tune in on the Our Independency YouTube channel from 8:45 to see the first episode of Our Independency TV's Eye on Health series.
Yes. So to all 190 plus on YouTube and 180 plus on Facebook for joining us this evening. Thank you so much. We love you all. You know the love stay with us and you. Keep up the good work. And to the Minister once again of Youth Development and National Service, please, sir, this program producing a lot of good citizens, and I ask you to keep them running, keep them going, keep them in your thoughts and prayers, and just give them what they need to make them even better citizens, more citizens, because this is the program. If you notice the crime situation in our country today, young people, one after the other, just check the police service Facebook page and you will see that, what I call the Rose Gallery, all of them under the age of 25. Please, sir, Civilian Conservation Corps MILAT program, and the MILAT program should have a female version of it coming up soon. I hope that is in the plans. I hope that is in the works. I love this program. Citizens, you all should love it too. Sorry, I can't see more. We are out of time, but folks, have a safe week.
Happy Emancipation.
Happy Emancipation, and take care of yourselves and each other.
Good night.
Good night.
You're listening to Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha. Reality radio at its